Welcome to YBC's What's New series. My name is Caleb Drenning, and today we're here with Brad from GAF. Brad, welcome.
Thanks, Caleb. Good seeing you.
Yeah. So, what is new with GAF this year?
Well, we've got actually quite a few things that we came out with that are new for this year. So, of course, GAF, we're the world's largest roofing manufacturer. We've been in business since 1886. We make all the components of the roof system in-house.
Wow.
So everything from the pipe vents, the pipe collars to the vents, including our underlayments and our granules, we make the whole system. So I'm going to touch on a little bit here. What we have right here is what we call the HDZ. So the Timberline, GAF invented the laminated shingle with the Timberline.
Okay.
It's a little over 50 some years. And one of the things that we changed is that in the past, all the contractors would rely on this bottom nail line here.
That's right.
So to catch this common bond area so that this back or shim wouldn't slide out.
Yep, okay.
So over the years, you'd get people that could actually high nail the shingle and then this would slide out.
That's right.
So a few years ago, what we did was we actually changed it to what we call the HDZ.
Yep.
And we're taking, and we have almost a 2-inch wide area here that a contractor can nail on or between.
Okay.
And then what we've done is you can see it vaguely in this sample here, but I think you can see it a little bit better in this one here, is that we've basically riveted those two pieces together at over 20 points across the shingle on the back.
And that strengthens everything.
It strengthens the two bonding areas so that this back or shim will never slide out.
Okay.
So the contractor, you hate to say in essence, can high nail a shingle,
but
we're allowing them to nail on or between these two nail lines, making it virtually flawless. I mean, a very simple installation. So we also recently added that HDZ to what's called our Harvest Blend series. So the Harvest Blend is actually just an additional 4 unique color blends to the most popular HDZ high definition shingle, which is we have over here on this side. So one of the newest things that we did for this past year, actually just launched it a few months ago, is that if you could remove that for me there, we actually recently launched what we call the UHDZ, which is an ultra high definition with that wider nail zone. So we also have here, as you can see, is that we have a dual shadow line. So there's a shadow line at the top and the bottom, which gives it a lot of high definition in 2 spots of the shingle.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll briefly just show here, there's a comparison, as you can see with that other sample board. This is our standard HDZ shingle, and then the new UHDZ shingle has a lot more impact.
That does show the difference. Okay.
So we sold quite a bit of the ultras in the past, but we had it was a 4 bundle per square. We had a granule on the back.
Okay.
So it was a lot more expensive because you're paying for 4 bundles. And the contractors didn't really like the fact of the granule on the back wasn't real easy to cut. It was a heavier bundle.
Yeah.
So this year we reduced that down to 3 bundles to square.
Okay.
So we've reduced the cost. It has that dual shadow line. And then it also has what we call basically that's a PAR granule that gives this now a 30-year stain and streak fighting warranty. So we know that we're not going to get those black streaks that you see in a lot of our competitor shingles.
And GAF manufactures their own granules, right?
Correct. Yes, we do.
Okay.
And we were talking earlier, that's one of the unique things about us, that we know the industry has some problems going on with supply in the granule business, and we're our own supplier.
Yeah, you control it.
I hate to say we control it, but we control it for our own plants, which is unique opportunity.
Good.
So one of the things that I show here is that, you look at our UHDZ, and this happens to be one of our competitors, and you could see the difference between our UHDZ with the dual shadow lines and theirs with the plain lines as the standard. Their standard, what we call this is their Pro Series. So now they're a 3 bundle to a square. We're 3 bundles to a square. So they're very similar nowadays as far as the weights, costs, and the appearance. You get a 30-year streak fighting warranty plus that dual shadow line and that wide nail line.
Yeah, some really great selling points on those.
So I'll put this one right back here.
Okay.
So a few things I also wanted to show, and I'll move some of these out of the way, is that in the past we talked about the our ventilation products.
Yeah.
And this is what we call our SnowCountry. And this one actually is our SnowCountry Advanced. And this is a 4-foot stick, as guys call it, real high-tech terms in this business. But SnowCountry Advanced because it comes with the nails.
Okay.
And this is actually filtered to keep the snow out of the attic.
So there's a regular SnowCountry as well?
The regular SnowCountry, which doesn't have the nails.
No nails.
And then there's the SnowCountry Advanced, which comes with a 3-inch ring shank nail
All right.
on it. Not to mention any names, but you have a contractor locally that actually ended up putting a competitor's product in their cabin and ended up getting a hold of us because they're using a similar product to this that's not filtered and ended up getting snow in their attic. So whether they use a competitor shingle or not, every single product they use for their ventilation is the SnowCountry.
Oh, wow.
Because it's filtered for the snow. Yeah. But this sample I show here is that, so every 3 inches, there's a little divot here on the edges, and you can basically bend that back and forth and custom size this.
Right on the roof.
Right on the roof.
Okay.
You don't need a utility knife, and then you turn it around and it would self-seal the end, the end cap. And then these all lock together to give it a straight line all the way across.
Yeah, nice clean look finish.
So another product that we have that we don't move a lot of it because we're having supply issues. This is what we call our RidgeRunner. This comes in a 20-foot rigid plastic. Okay. We actually have gone out to a number of folks here real recently because we're looking to add this as a 30-foot roll now to go against our competition that is 30-foot. We have 20-foot.
Okay, you're 20. Okay.
We're our 20-foot. So ours will be filtered. It'll then eventually next year be a 30-foot roll. And what we found is that when you put it in a bigger box and you don't have that band around it pulling it real tight, it lays perfectly flat on the roof.
Flat. Okay.
So we went out and saw 4 high-volume roofers that are using a competitive product. Yeah. Every single one of them now is already using our 20-foot RidgeRunner because in all aspects from the net-free venting area, how it lays flat, the profile's lower, the performance is better. So we feel in 2024 we're going to have a major hit on our hands when we come this out.
How do you cut that, the size? Just use a utility knife?
So you can use a utility knife if you need to, but every 12 inches, this tears also, and then it has a self-sealing end cap every 12 inches. But having mentioned that, it's a good point because one of the disadvantages to our competitor is they have these like rigid baffles that they claim they don't need to have a filter. But if you need to make this cut another 3 inches off to make it fit, you can't cut through those baffles. So the way that we're fashioned here, you could cut anywhere you want it to and not have a problem with it. Okay. So we're hoping to see the RidgeRunner in a 30-foot next year.
Just real quick, the profile, what is that, about an inch compared to the advanced is what?
Yeah, this is basically about an inch, and this is about an inch and a half. Okay. But you wouldn't really see this on the roof because the way the ridge cap shingles go over it, I mean, you just basically see the line. It's pretty well hidden. So another item that we have here that I mentioned that has taken off very, very well for us in spite of our supply and demand issues. So we have multiple different leak barriers, ice and water shields or leak barriers. One of the things that contractors hate is that they generally tend to be gritty and granule and slippery. So we took our high temperature StormGuard and we actually made this with a unique surfacing on it. So guys can use this for all 3 applications. High temperature, this goes around skylights, and it's not that significantly more expensive than our standard leak barrier. Right? This is not a synthetic, it's an ice and water shield or a leak barrier. So we have our Weather Watch also, which has granules on it. But this has a tractionable surface that guys absolutely love.
And they're not
slipping and falling. And we've gone out on roof tests, and when you see guys in their harnesses, they're getting on the edge of the roof because they're terrified of some of that stuff that's real slippery. They will not have this with the StormGuard at all. Guys love this. So the other big event that we have for this year is that we have been endorsing another product with, I think, the intent to probably acquire the company. And what we've been doing is we've been backing their product for lifetime. So if you use their pipe boot, we would back it for 50 years. So we now, obviously, this is our own. This is called, it's the Pivot Pipe Boot. So this is actually comes in 4 sizes and 4 colors. And now when you use this on a home, we guarantee it for at least 50 years that this will never leak. Plus, if they're using any of our extended or enhanced warranties, that will then give them coverage for as far as the actual installation. So if it's a Golden Pledge warranty, we're backing the workmanship for 25 and 30 years. If this leaks because they didn't install it properly, we would pay them to tear it off and replace it on our Golden Pledge warranties.
And the product itself has 50 years.
Correct, exactly.
You're covered for a long time.
So we feel very confident in just the short period that this has been out. We intended to launch it in January, but they delayed it because of productions, and it's now officially available as of the 17th of October. So that's now fully and readily available. But the only other item that I had here that I wanted to mention is that this is what's called our Liberty. It's a peel and stick for porch roofs.
Okay, like a low slope application?
Low slope application. It can be used as a cold applied or a torch down.
Oh, right.
But for porch roofs, for guys that are doing shingle roofs, this is a peel and stick called Liberty. And it has basically the colors to match and 7 of the most popular shingle colors. Yeah. So if they have a porch roof or a low slope area, they could use this and it would match the shingles instead of having to go with rubber.
What size is the
this comes in there'd be actually a 2 square roll base sheet.
Okay. And
then there's the 1 square roll cap sheet because they have the weight of the granules.
Right.
So there's a 1-ply system, a 2-ply system, and it goes anywhere from up to a 20-year warranty on that with the peel and stick.
Okay, depending on how you do that.
Correct.
Okay.
So I believe, other than that, I did want to touch on, I mentioned that we have a number of different warranties, but I want to highlight, we're the ones that invented these, or you say invented, we conceived these certified contractor programs over 25 years ago. Yeah. And part of it is that you use our components because we make them, and then put them together, you can offer an extended or enhanced warranty. And our basic warranty, what we call is our System Plus, is that this System Plus, the contractor, if they're certified with us, can register this warranty, and then that homeowner now has a 50-year non-prorated coverage against defects in manufacturing. So if the shingles fail in year 20, we'd pay that contractor or another one to go back out, tear off that whole roof system, and replace the whole thing at no charge to the homeowner.
So how many products do you have to use in the system to get the warranty?
So the System Plus, it's the shingle and at least 3 of our accessories.
Okay.
So 3 easy ones are to use is our starter strip around at least at the eave, our Sealer Ridge or TimberTex cap shingle, and then 1 other item such as like the SnowCountry or the RidgeRunner. Okay. And then they register that, they get 50 years non-prorated.
That's impressive, yeah.
So then we also have 2 other enhanced warranties on top of that, a Silver Pledge where we back their workmanship for 10 years, and then the Golden Pledge, which covers that contractor's workmanship for 25 and 30 years.
Okay.
So, but with those programs, and I'm not going to delve into all the tools that we have, but I highlight just 2 of them, is that, this is a shortened version of the tools for contractors to help them, as we say, avoid hassles and make more money. Yeah. But part of it is that we have these extended warranties. We have a new weather hub service that we know when the hail hits and the wind hits. All right. We also have, and I've been having a lot of success with, we're doing our own measurements. This is all GAF's quick measure. Okay. We pay a company that does flyovers, and then within 20 to 30 minutes, for less than $25, that contractor gets a detailed report on the measurements of that whole roof.
So they don't ever have to get on the roof to take the measurement?
Hardly anybody does that anymore, unless you're putting the shingles on.
Yeah.
But there are 2 new aspects of this. There's one called Quick Sight, where you actually get the 10-year history of insurance claims and the taxes, and then there's another new added aspect to that where we get more information based on that property address. And the last thing that I mentioned before we wrap it up is that so with these warranties, there is a cost for the contractor. It's minimal. I mean, it's like an insurance policy. Yeah. But when they're enrolled in our programs, we have what we call GAF Rewards, that they get up to 2% back on everything of ours that they buy, which pays for the cost of these warranties.
It's a great incentive. Yeah.
And it's an awesome incentive. And then they rely on you folks to help submit the invoices to get paid on that reward program.
All right. Well, Brad, we appreciate your partnership in GAF, and we look forward to the future.
Well, thank you very much. Right. Future's bright. I'm going to come a long way with the 25 years with you guys. So we appreciate your business.
We appreciate it as well.